Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to week 11 of the Cool Down Catch Up, a weekly catch up of what went down last week in training. Today I wanted to go over my kit and what I tend to bring along with me on my runs, ranging from my short runs to my long runs on road and trail, and even some of my longer mountain adventures. So starting out with road running, I only have one pair of road shoes that I wear, and that is the Hoka Rincon 3. Not the fastest shoe, but it's got a lot of cushion, and I'm not too concerned about speed when it comes to the road. So for road runs, I tend to wear the Salomon Sense Pro belt. It's got a nice front and back pocket and two side pockets. Side pockets I usually put my keys and my headphones in, and then it also has a pocket that's nice. I can put a soft flask in if it's a little bit of a longer mileage run. If I'm not wanting to do the water bottle in the belt, then I will usually go with a handheld like this, and I usually have some nutrition in there if it's a longer run. It's nice to also have to be able to have my phone as well as the GoPro for filming footage for this series. But everything fits nice in there, and it's nice and compact and light. Depending on the mileage you run, I'll bring a gel or some sort of nutrition in case I need that if the time limit is a little bit longer. Some of the condition dependent gear that I carry with me is some of the stuff I have right in front of me here. One of them is the Tula Exo Spikes. They're just basically really minimal micro spikes. Use this anytime it's going to be a little icy or kind of hard snowpack, give you a little bit extra traction. But these are pretty great because they are very low profile and minimum. Another thing I'll always rock around is a buff. Can wear that over the head, over the face in case it's windy or cold in the mornings and or snowing. I also will rock the Gooder sunglasses. Nice, they're really cheap, polarized. I don't feel bad about shoving them in my jacket. This is probably my second or third pair. They get scratched up because I'll be throwing them in my vest or dropping them on the ground. They have minimal bounce, so these are great for those sunny and bright conditions. And then the other thing I always almost carry with me in these kind of colder weather is these gloves. I think they're pronounced no-fell. I really like them because they have this little sleeve that you can tuck your fingers in, so it kind of becomes a mitten and it's a little bit warmer. When it comes to a jacket or a shell, I got this nice lightweight North Face seasonal mountain jacket. I don't think it's necessarily meant for running, but it's really breathable. It's water repellent, windproof, and it really is nice because it compacts down, and this is with minimal thing, it compacts down really small so it can fit in my trail vest, and I've had really good experiences with this so far. It's nice and breathable, like I said, so it's not holding in all that sweat, and always necessary when you're going on longer runs and the weather might be changing throughout. When it comes to trail running, I have my one go-to shoe for a majority of the trails, and that is the Hoka Speedgoat 5s. These are my go-to. These are probably my fourth or fifth pair. Really great cushion, really good traction. They're pretty much my favorite shoe that I go on 90% of my trail runs. And one last pair of shoes, I have the La Sportiva Mutants. These are my go-to if I'm going to be doing any scrambling or climbing during a run, say in the flat irons or up in the mountains. They're not as cushiony as the Hokas, so they're not as great for long mileage, but the climbing ability is phenomenal, and I'm very confident in climbing even low class 5 in these shoes. So these are my go-to pretty much anytime I'm in the high country and on more rocky and climbing style terrain. So for the vest, I rock the Salomon Sense Pro 10. This is a perfect size jacket for all the runs that I've been doing lately. Plenty of pockets for storage, for nutrition, and the camera, and any other extra gear you may need. I usually rock that with two soft flasks. These are just Osprey soft flasks, which I will fill with nutrition and water. Now, depending on the terrain that I'm going to be running in, if I'm getting into something with a lot of elevation gain or in mountainous terrain, I will rock trekking poles, and these are the Black Diamond Carbon Distance Z. They're extremely lightweight. I absolutely love these things. And what I put on the Salomon's quiver onto my vest, and I'm able to just stuff those in and attach them to the back. And so when I'm running on flat or very minimal elevation, I will leave them stowed. But when I get into some steeper stuff, I'm able just to reach back and start trekking with these bad boys. I do have a second trail vest that I tend to use when I'm doing longer, bigger mountain adventures where I need a little bit more storage. This is the Black Diamond Distance 15. This will come with me when I need a little bit extra layers or gear, or I'm bringing my nice bigger camera. It has just a little bit more storage, and it's nice because it does have the little side pockets for those Black Diamond Distance poles. Like I said, these will usually come with me when I am doing a larger mountain adventure. When it comes to some of the techie stuff, and this is obviously always run dependent, I'm almost always running, unless it's a really long distance, with a heart rate monitor, just to kind of know where I'm at and kind of where I need to start pacing myself. If it is going to be a long day or an early start, I always will rock a headlamp, and that just helps when it gets dark out. If I'm planning on getting into the mountains and out of service on a really long day, I will bring my Garmin InReach Mini, which is nice because I'm able to send text messages to friends and family, let them know everything's okay if the day is lasting a little bit longer. It's also nice because it does have an SOS button if something were to happen. So anytime I'm kind of in the high country or on a long, big run in the mountains, this is always attached or in my vest. As for tracking, I wear the Garmin Fenix 5. I've had this for probably about 8 years, and I've had no issues with it. The battery life still lasts, so until it dies, I'm gonna keep going with this one. On some of these longer runs where I'm not having access to water and I'm gonna need to refuel, I will always bring my Sawyer filter system, and this is really nice because I can just dip and fill this into a creek or river, and then I can screw on the filter and I can refill my bottles, and I can also drink straight out of this. So this is nice when I'm going on a really long run and I don't want to carry an extra water bottle and all that extra weight. I'll usually fill both my flasks, kind of plan my run around where I'll be crossing creeks, and then I will use this to filter my water. And for everyone's favorite part, nutrition. I rock with Tailwind nutrition in my water for my electrolytes and some calories, and I usually like to go 2 scoops per water bottle, and I try to consume 1 of those an hour along with 1 sort of gel. I've been kind of experimenting with a bunch of different ones, but my go-tos are Spring Awesome sauces, the Martins. Goo's nice because they're cheap, but they can get a little bit wreak havoc on your digestive system. I've been trying these Humas, which I really like. And then I always like to try to keep at least 1 or 2 kind of real type of foods. So that's like a granola bar or a fig bar, and then something like an applesauce. I also usually like to have at least a handful of candy in case I feel like my blood sugar is dropping, or I just need that little change of taste from this kind of gel and goo style nutrition. In some future episode, I might approach how I go over my nutrition, and I'm new to all this, so I'm still experimenting, but I usually try to consume at least 1 of these every 45 minutes, and I do have a reminder in my watch that goes off every 45 minutes to let me know I do need to eat something, as well as keep drinking my Tailwind. I hope you found me going over my kit was somewhat interesting. Of course, that kit varies depending on the mileage and terrain and distance I'm gonna be running, but in general, that is all of the gear I tend to use. I'd love to hear what gear you guys go with and what essentials you'll never leave the house without. All right, and now to the catch up. And as it seems like I can't keep it under the 2-minute limit, and I wanna keep highlighting some of the details of these runs, I'm gonna do away with the time for just a few episodes and see how that goes, and see if I can still keep it in a compressed format. So let's put no time on the clock, and the cool down catch up starts right now. Monday was a rest day. So it is Tuesday. I am doing a treadmill speed work. It is cold and windy outside, so opted for the treadmill. So the workout today is 6 by 3 minutes fast, 1 minute recovery. And so I'm gonna do a little warm up, do the workout, and then cool down the remainder of the miles. For this workout, I decided to do my fast intervals at a 6:40-minute pace and my 1-minute slow recovery at 12-minute pace. I figured this was a good pace that would allow my heart rate and my breathing to get under control. Wednesday, I took a rest day. Thursday, I had 8 miles, and I decided to approach this run in a little bit of a different method. Today, I am mixing it up a little bit. For most of these runs I do out on these roads, it's usually all the vert is front heavy and all the descent is back heavy. So what I wanted to do is
Let's mix it up a little bit this time. So I'm doing 1 mile up, 1 mile down, 2 miles up, 2 miles down, 1 mile up, 1 mile down, equaling 8 miles. That way I can practice kind of going back uphill after kind of hammering it downhill, rather than the whole back half being super descent loaded.
My elevation profile looked a little bit like the pyramids of Giza, with 2,200 feet of gain in my 8 miles. After my run, I wanted to go and test out my new toy, the Sigma 100 to 400 millimeter lens. So I decided to go and skin up the Grays and Torreys road to try to snap some photos. While I didn't get any spectacular photos, it was really nice to get out, play with this bad boy, and I still got 1,300 feet of gain during the little adventure.
It is Friday, and I am just out for an easy 8 miles. I have my long run tomorrow, 24 miles, so just trying to take it nice and chill today. Running on the Peaked Plains trail that runs through Clear Creek Canyon.
The path was about 60% clear and 40% snow and ice, which made for some slippery miles since I was running in my Rincon, my road running shoes that don't have much traction.
So I'm the only one out here. Whoa, wait. Oh. Have a good run, man.
Saturday was my long run day.
All right, it's Saturday. It's Saturday. It's Saturday.
Saturday run day.
Long run day with the crew, friends. We have one friend up there, but he's too fast for us. And we went up Virginia Canyon Road, so about 12 miles. I'm gonna go do a lap 2 on it so I can get 24. But everyone's crushing it today. Say hi.
Hi, YouTube. Hi, Mom.
Hi, all 60 people who watch my videos.
It was awesome to have a bit of a crew to join me for the first lap. Everyone was crushing it that day, and it's always great to share some miles with friends.
Lap 1?
Lap 1 complete.
All right, now I'm on lap 2. I lost all my friends, and I'm all by myself. This next lap, I feel like it's gonna be a little slower.
The second lap, I did have to take a few walking breaks, as the 5 to 6% grade was just working my hip flexors. The short walking breaks did help loosen up the hip flexors, and I was actually able to make the second lap uphill 2 minutes faster than my lap 1. My double lap of Virginia Canyon Road totaled 24 miles and 3,650 feet of gain. Sunday, I had my long timed run planned, but I had gone down to Canyon City to visit my mom and help her out with some things around the house, so I just wasn't able to squeeze it in. But when I got home, I did jump on the treadmill for 4 miles, which made for a pretty big monthly milestone PR. And that was my week. A really great building week that totaled 50.14 miles, 7 hours and 48 minutes, and 6,266 feet of gain. And with the day on the skis, I totaled 7,578 feet of gain. I also had my lifetime high mileage for the month of March, 200 miles. I know compared to elites, this is nothing, but as a beginner amateur, I'm really stoked to have hit this mileage within the month. I also totaled over 31,000 feet of gain in the month, 28,000 feet of those being while running. Anyways, I hope you are all doing well, and I hope you are all crushing your own personal goals. Thank you for tuning in as always. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Cheers to it finally being and feeling like spring here in Colorado. And with that said, always remember, adventure awaits.